Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we have a show for you. They've had so much going on over this past week. Obviously, the Pope was in town. He brought a lot of focus to so many different things about our relationships, about the family, about, taking care of one another. So today I kind of really wanted to focus on one of the things that the Pope kind of honed in on, which was our relationships. And so I wanted to focus on our relationships with regard to money and our relationships with regard to voting, and kind of really zone into our apathy with regard to voting. So I have with me this morning, of course, Telly Medina, my partner in voting. Good morning, Telly. How are you?
Hating on you this morning. Did you meet the Pope? I'm not even Catholic, but
why are you hating on me?
Because everybody didn't get to do that, and I really don't want to do your show this morning. I told Lee that because, everybody didn't realize the good life by going to meet the Pope. I'm not Catholic, but I'm hating on you. That's what I have to say this morning. But good morning.
But I shared my experience with everyone.
Yeah,
I called in from the South Lawn. That's what the good life is all about. It's opening opening minds to living differently in the world and sharing your experiences with others.
On them like they were personally blessed by the Pope. I'm hating.
It was kind of a 2-for-1 deal, so I was absolutely blessed. Today is a day of gratitude. It's a day of relationships. It's a day of, just kind of bringing it all together. So I am absolutely blessed that I was able to see the Pope on Wednesday, and I also got to see the president. So it was literally a 2-for-1 deal on the White House South Lawn. So I was very excited. We got up at the crack of dawn, which was like 4-something there, which meant if it's 4-something on Eastern time, what time is it here? 3-something. Yes. While all of you were sleeping, I was up getting ready, but no complaints here. I had a wonderful time. I was absolutely blessed. I got to hang out with some friends from Emory, so it was really, really cool. So I enjoyed my experience. It is unbelievable. It was a chance of a lifetime, and so I want to thank my sister for the experience and my parents for everything that they do. And they were actually there in Philly. So, and I don't know, just with his message, I don't know how you can't be touched. And it doesn't even matter what faith that you are. He was speaking to all people, just on a basis of being good and love. His, the basic message was love. In one of his masses, he said, children, they always like to, get you on those questions. He said, a child asked him, what was God doing before he made the world? And he said, and he, it was funny. The crowd laughed. And he said, he was loving. He loved. And I was like, how powerful is that? And he loved us so much, or he loved so much that he created us, that he wanted to share that love and he wanted to pour out. And so that's what I want us to do. I want us to love our communities that much that it literally pours out of us in about a month. Because we're not just going to the polls for ourselves. We're going to the polls for our children and for our children's children and for the sake of our world. The people that we elect literally change the world. They make decisions. They make policies that will affect us maybe for a year, maybe for 10 years, maybe for 100 years. We don't know. But if we don't go to the polls, we don't have a voice in that vote. So do you realize that just in under a month, you'll be heading to the polls to place your respective going to your polling places in your respective communities to cast your vote for your next choice for the governor, the lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, and it goes on and on and on, your representatives, your senators. But I hope you're as fired up as I am. But unfortunately, most people aren't, because there was an LSU Public Policy Research Lab. They had a survey in mid-August. And in regards to the governor's race, the findings were very disconcerting. The poll was conducted between July 7th and August 3rd, and they found that only 29% of Louisiana residents are even paying attention to the race. Y'all, that was like a month ago. 29% of the people were even paying attention to the race. And they said that nonetheless, the indifference is still immense. Last year's midterm turnout was the lowest for a general election in 72 years. Listen to this, and this is the biggest difference. While voter participation was for those making $150,000 or more a year was 80%, and those making less than $150,000, the percentage was 35%. Do y'all understand the difference there? So the people who are making more money are having a larger say. And you can't be upset that they have a larger say. It's because they vote. The people making $150,000 or less was a 35% showing. Well, there's your problem. You wonder why your voice isn't heard? There's your problem. Or there's our problem, I should say. Because a non-vote is a vote for is a vote against your focus. So, like, Talia, like, what point do we start seeing these things as, like, starting to, I guess, attack our communities? Like, not voting. Like, what is the deal?
I guess Diddy said this a minute ago, vote or die. And this was during one of the last 10 years of election cycle. But now, specifically in the state of Louisiana, where there are almost 3 million people who have the possibility of voting, but maybe 1.4 million of those people actually do it, and where a good percentage of African Americans make up a great deal of the electorate, there is a tie between a place like in the Bible belts of Louisiana and northeast Louisiana and Monroe and down to Homer and through ports of Shreveport and Minden and even in the Lower Ninth Ward, where it is still all across this state that we're having issues with abortion rates in the African American community. We still have issues with mothers who are single mothers being able to feed their 2 children. We still have issues where pastors are telling me that they see dwindling numbers because people are losing faith, not necessarily in God, but in the leadership in the church. We know that if we put our minds to it as a collective, anything is genuinely possible. But that sounds too high and mighty. Brass tacks of it is, if you can wake up and go to work every day because it's a necessity to feed your children, if you can wake up every day and figure out how to brush your teeth, wash your face because it's necessary in order for you to be on the job, to make sure your children have food in their stomachs, you want to make sure that Miss Landrew has the stoplight working so that you don't crash and get into accidents. If society has to be ordered in steps in order for us to do the things necessary to go on every day, then why is it that the things that control those mechanisms, like voting, for individuals who are going to make life and death decisions for you, the Lilly Ledbetter Act, for women to make equal pay.
Equal pay? Oh, my gosh.
Specifically African American women don't invest in voting for the individuals that made that happen because you are making less money than men, and you are not married to your baby's father. I don't know what other good way to describe that. That may sound harsh, but that is the sheer reality.
Wait, say that one more time. I think that deserves like a rerun.
Lilly Ledbetter Act, which allows women to get equal pay to men. The reason these laws were put into place even in the 60s and 70s on the surface, because you had a higher propensity for individuals to be married, and if women would stay at home, then they did not need to make equal pay in comparison to men. At least that's the way it was sold to us, right?
The way it was sold to us, right.
We know that isn't the case because the divorce rate started to stick coming out of World War II, which is why we needed to have women build bonds. Specifically coming out of Vietnam when we lost a great deal of African Americans. My father-in-law would tell you at Phoenix High School down in Point LaHash, well, down in Lower Plaquemines, that his entire senior class went to Vietnam. So what were women left here doing? Clearly they had to work because they weren't making a lot of money for the Army's sake. I'm saying that if we just focus on African American women who are probably more conscious in the elections than at times, based off of numbers, than African American men, you have so much to lose in this city, it's ridiculous. We see last night the night before last, the night before then, that young black men are dying. If we get into the sticky subject matters that occupy us every day, that if divorce rates are higher for African American families, and if black women are having children in or out of wedlock but have to be on their own, then it is imperative for black women to be able to vote and vote in the block for whoever your choice is, so that you can have the resources necessary to take care of you, but more importantly, take care of that young black boy who is suffering because of the lack of resources within the streets of New Orleans.
Right.
I mean, it's that simplistic, but that serious. And we are going to have to turn this voting thing really outside of a pluralistic issue into a moral issue, because every single preacher, every single prophet, whoever those individuals are across the streets can clearly say that things seem to be getting worse in this city at times and in this country. Not for everybody, but for some people. And if that is the case, then this is the singular thing that we know we can do. I'm not saying prayer doesn't matter, because it's important. It can change things. But faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
You know that from Martin Luther and the 95 Thesis. And now is the time to fully engage in the next month. Let's email blast it. Let's talk about it. Not just because of some voting matter, Dr. King died in March 1st. No, that if a black woman is not getting paid an equal amount to a black man or white folks, Vietnamese, whoever that is, then you have less money to take care of the children that you have, whether you're married or single. And in this city, it is imperative.
Absolutely. Absolutely imperative. There's so, and you know what, let's just focus on the women's vote, because I believe, weren't we discussing in the last election last year when you were actually in, I believe in here, and we were talking about if they had all of the registered women voting, that women could literally change the election. Didn't I have that conversation with you?
Yeah, that was us, and we talked about him in the Senate race.
We were like, if all of the women that were registered to vote voted, women could change the election. How powerful is that? So why don't we do what's in our best interest?
And here's the other thing. I saw that at Franklin Avenue. Great shout out to Reverend Luder on yesterday. I believe the Urban League, and it may have been the Urban League Young Professionals, which
it was
Thomas and Jade and everyone.
It was
had a voter registration drive. Louisiana is ranked 3rd in the nation in individuals who are registered to vote. It's important that we register new people, but it is even more important that the jokers who are already on the rolls
go vote.
Go and vote. I am handling a Senate race, a House race, a council race right now. If you look at the amount of people who are supposed to be engaged, some of the individuals who are elected, they don't even vote 100% of the time. And you can see I working out just consistently. It is a commonality. And I understand how hard it is, even within the governor's race. Maybe you lost faith in the state of Louisiana because of the Jindal administration. That could be the case. I understand. But that has nothing to do with consistently being part of voting your interests.
Exactly.
And if that person doesn't like you, it's just like dating. If this joke ain't working out, put them out your house, put them out your life, and move on to the next one.
Absolutely. And if we haven't learned anything from these past years with our governor, please let's not recreate this for another 4 or 8 years. Let's do something about it now. Let's learn from the past and not recreate it. Let's go to the polls and let's do something different. What is insanity? Continuing to do the same thing and expecting a different result. Let's get a different result. Let's do something differently, because that's the only way that we are going to move this community forward. We have to do something differently, and we have to raise the voting numbers, and not the registration. Not that it's not a good thing, of course, but we have to raise the percentage of people who actually get to the polls and press the button. And we're going to do that with The Good Life, and we're going to do that with all of you, because all of you are going to take 5 people to the polls, and you're going to challenge those 5 people to take 5 people to the polls. And we're going to educate everyone about who's on the ballot. And that's what we're going to be doing on WBOK throughout the next 4 weeks. We're on the Good Morning Show and on the Grapevine. We're going to have all of the elected officials who are running for these offices. So I need y'all to really tune in and to pay attention, because this is your interest. This is the good life. Before we go out, Telly, last thoughts?
Pray for your country. Pray and be thankful, I guess, for the Pope's visit, was able to revisit the thoughts that we're supposed to have on humility and hard work, and how that within this lifetime where people are so focused on it's me, it's me, it's me, that the guy deflected that and focused on people and the least of these. That's important within our lifetime.
Absolutely. Thank you, Telly, so much for being my partner in voting. We will continue this throughout our voting cycle and beyond. This is The Good Life with Eileen. This is Money Monday. We'll be right back with our relationship with money. How can we take those steps to turn it around? We'll be right back.
Money Talks with Ed Marshall. Find out what investments, annuities, and retirement accounts you should be preparing you and your family for. Money Talks with Ed Marshall, a 1-hour weekly interactive talk show, Mondays from noon until 1 p.m. Brought to you by First NBC on WBOK, 1230 a.m. Real Talk for Real Times.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
Do you know anyone with less than perfect credit? At KB Enterprises, they specialize in restoring your score. Learn how to increase your credit score with 100% satisfaction guarantee. A+ rating with the BBB, 10-year track record of removing negative items including repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, student loans, and more. Kenneth Barnes and his team at KB Enterprises are excited about helping you restore your credit and achieving your financial goals. Whether it's acquiring a home or purchasing a car, don't miss this opportunity to change your life forever. For more info, give them a call at 504-577-4139. Log on to www.kennethbarnes.org and be sure to tune into The Good Life on Money Mondays and get your financial tips for the week from Kenneth Barnes so you can live the good life too. Squeaking door, those uneven steps, or that room you want painted? Have you been looking for that trustworthy contractor that is licensed and insured that can handle all of your residential construction needs? Well, look no further. Elite Southern Solutions can handle all your residential needs. There is no job too big or too small that Elite Southern Solutions can't complete to perfection. Call them at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. To add value to your home, to update your bathroom, add that much-needed storage, or finally remodel your kitchen. Elite Southern Solutions will take care of that water leak repair, those boards that need to be replaced after termite season. Call a contractor you can trust to get the job done right the first time. And that's Elite Southern Solutions. They are fully licensed and insured and will give you peace of mind. Call them today at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. That's Elite Southern Solutions, getting the job done right the first time. L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecu.com LNRsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with LNR Security today.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and if you want to follow us, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, The Good Life Radio Show, The Good Life Radio Show, or Being Eileen C. That's Being Eileen C. You can stay tuned for all of the shows. We put them on Spreaker.com. You can click there on any of those, and you can, get a show that you've missed, or you can find out what the next show is going to be for the next day. So make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And what is your relationship with money? What are the messages you received growing up about money? Do any of the following statements resonate with you? Let's see. It wasn't discussed, but we had plenty. Or, we never had enough money. There was fear and scarcity around finances in general. Like your parents were fighting about money. Statements like, we can't afford it. Or were you told that you needed to make a ton of money because it will define you as a success? Or you did not have a lot growing up, so you determined that you would do it differently? Or was there always enough? Well, there's a book with author Vicki Robin, Your Money, Your Life, and she gives you 9 steps to kind of figure out, is your money and your relationship with money driving you? And I have Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises on the line, and we are going to discuss these points today. Good morning, Kenneth. How are you?
Good morning. I love this topic here because it's a very real issue, and it hit close to home for me as well.
Really? Tell me why it hit close to home.
Well, I remember clearly as a 12-year-old, and I probably need to call my mom right after the show and apologize, because when the new Jordans were first coming out when I was 12, I remember it caused problems for her and I for years to come, because I had to have those new Jordans. Everybody on my block was getting them, and my mom said, I'm not spending more than $60 on a pair of tennis shoes. And I'm like, Mom, they're $110. And I had to have them. And I remember the frustration that I had as a kid not being able to get those Jordans. So not only did I create problems with my mom, I was really upset for a long period of time with my mom based on her not getting that for me. And, you know, it's one of the issues that we really need to deal with because it probably later on in life causes us to do the foolish spending because we didn't have it. So we kind of have starved ourselves for so many years growing up in poverty that once we do get a check, it goes all to the things we always wanted. So we overspend and just say, you know what, I deserve it, I earn it. Because of the lack of money, now it's like now that I got money, I can get what I've been lacking. So
Exactly.
It's very real, very challenging.
Right. So regardless of the messages given, they often follow us into our adult life, as you know we're talking about now, and inform decisions about our professional and personal lives. So it's important to have awareness about these beliefs because they may be getting in our way. For example, if you define yourself by your income, you may be driven to make more and more and have no time for your family. So as a result, you miss experiencing the joys of life, like maybe your daughter's ballet recital or your son's game, or, you know, spending time with your family or going on a vacation because you just have to work, or while you're on vacation, you're attached to your phone and you're missing the experience of it. So I'm challenging my own beliefs about money now, and I'm challenging everyone else's to recognize how these messages drive you to keep repeating patterns in your life and creating stress in your life. You know, I'm beginning to imagine what it would be like to free myself from these limiting beliefs, and I'm hoping that you all can do the same. So that's why I wanted to bring these 9 steps that Vicki Robin laid out, because I really feel like they will help us help us dig deep and look at how we spend our energy. And so it's really funny because, you know, she says that money is more than paper. And think about that. It's a representation of your life's hours and your time spent. How much of your life are you spending on that cell phone plan? Is it worth it? It's a very personal question that only you can answer. How much does that second income really help? Do you subtract the cost of work clothes, transportation, additional takeout and convenience, foods, childcare, etc.? She challenged you to break it down and determine what works for you and what doesn't. And now she's not, recommending, a bare bones life. We all want a little bit of luxury. It's not just just enough concept. Safe and comfortable shelter, nutritious foods, adequate clothing, the basic needs, and saving for some safety. But while luxuries are not worth the extra energy spent, the book helps examine how you're exchanging your energy and determine if your choices are bringing that lasting fulfillment. So the amount of time it takes to get that money, is that worth what you're missing? So it's kind of, creating that balance and really looking at that, because sometimes you realize it's not worth it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And, that balance is tough. That balance is a very, very tough, and I wrestle with that all the time. This is a very real topic because I'm very driven, and I know my drive comes from the poverty upbringing. That's why I work so hard. My work ethic is ridiculous based on that. And most people, that's the same way. Mm-hmm. So I'm that driven. It's something that's driving them like that. And a lot of people that are successful, especially people that I know from out of New Orleans, that went on to do phenomenal things, and also across the country, that's what's driving them. For a couple of reasons. One, they never experienced that again. Second, to not have their kids ever experience that, because it wasn't something that was a thing that you want to put on your goal sheet to strive for.
Right.
Poverty sucks.
And it's really funny that you say that. We're having these personal moments on air, but I was having a conversation with this woman that I absolutely looked up to, and she has done amazing things in her life for everyone, giving up herself, for like years. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you've done so many great things. I kind of feel like I haven't done enough yet because, I've been raising my son and, I've given so much to him. And she's like, you know what? That's the most important thing you can do. She's like, because I was busy one day at a meeting and I missed my son's first game. She's like, there's nothing more important than taking care of your child. When they will grow up and leave you, and then you will have time to give to your community if that's what you need to do. She's like, but give that energy to your child because they need it. They count on you. And she's like, I will never forgive myself for missing that game. And I was just like,
wow.
it just sunk in for me. And this is a very accomplished woman, and I was just like, wow. And so we don't want to end up being, 50, 60, 70 years old, and our children don't even know us. or we have a strange relationship because we've been so focused on money. Now, money is a tool, and we need it to take care of, and take care of our necessities and things like that, and, to go on vacation and, to do things, but don't let it drive you to the point that, you're missing out on life. So, and I'm glad that I have Kenneth here for these steps, because when I was going through these steps, I was like, Then I was like, oh, that's what Kenneth is for. So step 1 was make peace with your past. I'm going to read the steps, and then I'm going to have Kenneth kind of elaborate on them. It's the sum of your life earnings, and then look up what you have to show of it. So use your tax returns, your Social Security statements, and any other financial records you have to calculate your lifetime earnings. Did you hear me? Your lifetime earnings. Next, calculate your net worth. In order to complete this first step, you have to look back and see your past money mistakes. And this can be a painful step. Instead of lamenting over your past mistakes, use those experiences to apply the learned wisdom and move forward. Ooh, Kenneth, this is a rough one. Number 1, make peace with your past. I was like, make peace with your past. I was like, oh, forgive yourself. Then I was reading it. I was like, calculate everything you've made in your lifetime and basically see if it was worth it and how you've used it. What?
That's exactly right. And that's a really good exercise. It kind of goes back to our week 1 of the Net Worth Financial Challenge, that where's the money going?
Right.
And this takes it a step further, but looking back past at all the income that you've made over a period of time, and it is a tax that will make you look back and say, what am I doing with the money? But it's good. It's good for you because you have to know what's going on to be able to know. It's like going to the doctor. He needs to see what the symptoms are.
Right, right.
In order to prescribe the right prescription, he needs to know a little bit about what's happened in the past. And like when it's time to get life insurance, they want to know what age is your dad if he's still alive, your mom. They want to know your history. And so it's so important for us to be able to look back at the history to kind of determine what we want to do for the future.
And it's funny because when you calculate those numbers and when you come up with those figures, think about it. Don't think about it in money. Think about it in time.
That's right.
That's the big part. Once you have those numbers about how much money you've made, it may be something you're proud about, it may be something that you need to work on. But either way, it's like, how much time did I put into it? And then either way, if it's something that you need to work on, well, then I need to put more time into it. If it's something that, and if it's something that, is exorbitant, well, how much time did I put into it and what did I miss? Is there, a happy medium where, I could be living a better life? Well, number 2 is calculate your real hourly wage. I thought this was interesting, too. Subtract commuting costs, clothing costs, meals eaten out during work hours, and y'all know y'all like those expensive lunches, and any other work, that's true, and drinks after lunch, and, taking out a coworker or, a client or whatever it may be, any other work-related expenses. Some things are hard to quantify. Do you spend more money on big vacations because your work life is so stressful? Try to factor in all expenses. So they want you to calculate your real hourly wage after you spend all that other stuff. What are you really taking home? Kenneth.
That right there, I'm telling you, I have a client that actually went through her budget. She did the Where's the Money Going worksheet. Mm-hmm. And when she realized for the first time, she has more going out than coming in. Mm. And now she's wondering how she's been surviving because things are expensive. I was in Houston the last few days looking at opening up an office in that market. And I remember we went to my daughter's birthday was Friday, so on Saturday we're in the mall and planned on just doing a few days of just her birthday. We went to a restaurant that was catered to kids. You had the animals. I mean, it's a layout strictly for kids. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but food wasn't great at all. You're totally paying for the kid atmosphere for the kids.
Right.
Food sucked. But,
always.
But the bill was over $100, and we're talking about pizza. Some little Tex-Mex, nothing extravagant, and over $100. I'm like, I don't like spending my money that quick. I'll be honest, Arlene. I'm looking at them, I'm trying to keep the birthday phase on. I'm like, $100 for this?
Right.
We could have did Chick-fil-A or Whole Foods. The wraps are better over there. And so it's important for us to know where our money's going, but at the same time, things are expensive. To enjoy life, we have to be aware of what's going on, and it goes back to that work ethic as well. And also balancing our time with the work and where our hourly time is for our money. Because if you're not getting what you're worth, we have to determine, first of all, what am I worth? That's the first question. What is my time worth? Then divide that by the hours that we plan on working through the course of the day. And then from there, we got to know if this is not lining up with my hourly worth, then I shouldn't be doing this activity.
And I'm going to throw the other side to you, Kenneth, but was your daughter happy?
She was. She was happy.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying, it's the good life. Step 3, monthly tabulation. Where does it go? Tabulate all your expenses into categories, add them up, and convert them into hours of your life. Did y'all hear that? Tabulate your expenses into categories, add them up, and convert them into hours of your life. Since you know what your real hourly wage is, and now you're going to tabulate your expenses and convert them into hours of your life. Oh, my goodness. Track exactly how you spend your life. Wow.
That's so good. It's so good. And, guys, one of the easiest ways to do this, and I did this a couple of weeks ago, I exercised for myself. Funny we're talking about this, too, because this morning, Eileen, I just did my 10-year goal on what my goals are over the next 10 years and broke it down to the day. And so now I got a clear target. I'm so excited about having a clear target because now I know exactly what needs to be done daily. But when you break it down in the spreadsheet, and what I normally do is create just a basic spreadsheet Sunday through the next Saturday, and then it's easier to see a visual on where I'm going to be and how much I'm allowing to what of my life. And that's one of the best tools I've seen to be able to allow myself balance, especially if you're color-coded, where you can kind of get a snapshot of how much time I'm spending in one area versus the other.
Well, we are going to break this down some more when we get back. I am here on Money Monday. I'm here with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises, and we are discussing, your life and money. Where's the balance? Are you really, expending what you're getting back from it? This is The Good Life. This is Money Monday, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
How much insurance is enough?
What kind of insurance should I purchase? What company should I choose?
To get answers to these questions, tune in each Monday from 2 to 3 p.m. to Insurance Concepts and Planning in the 21st Century. Brought to you by the Underwriters Group on WBOK 1230 AM, Real Talk for Real Time.
You're on the move and so is your bank. Liberty Bank now offers you the power to manage your money from the palm of your hand with mobile banking with Liberty Bank. Whether you need to check balances, transfer money, or view transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download our mobile app. You can mobile bank at Liberty Bank to keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
New Orleans Masters of Groove, the Funky Meters, will team up with the legendary Alan Toussaint, Walter Wolfman Washington, and New Orleans' own Queen of Soul, Irma Thomas, at the deliciously entertaining Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival, October 16th through 18th at Lafayette Square. This free festival is family-friendly and is powered, produced, and presented by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation. This very unique blues festival will include some of the best art exhibits and barbecue in the South with more than 40 local vendors. Vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options are available, as well as bread pudding and peach cobbler for dessert. If you're hungry for great music, food, and fun, make sure that you visit us on the web at jazzandheritage.org for a scheduled lineup of all artists performing at the 10th Annual Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival to be held in Lafayette Square, October 16th through 18th.
If you had a hammer, would you hit yourself in the head with it? Or would you use it to build something? In this year's race for governor, you do have a hammer. It's your vote. The 3 Republicans running help Bobby Jindal hurt our families. Voting for Scott Angel, David Vitter, or Jay Darden would be like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. The Republican candidates supported Bobby Jindal while he attacked and closed our charity hospitals and denied health care to tens and thousands of working families. Fight back by voting for Democrat John Bel Edwards. Edwards lives his Christian values. In the legislature, John Bel Edwards stood up for public schools and to protect our charity hospitals. Election day is Saturday, October 24th. Early vote starts October 10th. Use your vote like a hammer to put Bobby Jindal in his place by voting for John Bel Edwards for governor. Paid for by Louisiana Families First, not paid for or authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh from my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
Are you tired of that squeaking door, those uneven steps, or that room you want painted? Have you been looking for that trustworthy contractor that is licensed and insured that can handle all of your residential construction needs? Well, look no further. Elite Southern Solutions can handle all your residential needs. There is no job too big or too small that Elite Southern Solutions can't complete to perfection. Call them at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. To add value to your home, to update your bathroom, add that much-needed storage, or finally remodel your kitchen. Elite Southern Solutions will take care of that water leak repair, those boards that need to be replaced after termite season. Call a contractor you can trust to get the job done right the first time. And that's Elite Southern Solutions. They are fully licensed and insured and will give you peace of mind. Call them today at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. That's Elite Southern Solutions, getting the job done right the first time.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we are breaking it down for you. How much time are you really putting into your life? Are you focused on your money? Is your money taking over your life? We are here, really getting into this discussion. There was a book by Vicki Robin, and it breaks down 9 steps to really evaluate your life. I am here with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises. Kenneth, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
504-577-4139. That's 504-577-4139.
I want to jump right back into these so we have time to finish all of them, because number 4 is a trip. Number 4 is evaluate the expenses from step 3. And let me go back to step 3. It's tabulate all your expenses into categories, add them up, and convert them into the hours of your life. So we want you to look at how much of your time you spend on each item from your monthly tabulation. Is it worth it to you? Whew, that'll be a wake-up call to a lot of people. Calculating how much time you really spend. Like, let's say it takes you 6 hours to pay for your cable bill. Really? That may not seem like too much, except that you only watch 2 hours of TV a week because you're so busy working to pay for the TV. Really think about things like that, because you have to have the biggest package. Do you really have to, have the biggest package if you're only watching 2 hours of TV a week? Like, think about that. But you're using 6 hours of your life to pay for it. So when you break things down like this, you really get, a wake-up call and a gauge on life. Like, am I putting my time where it needs to go? Okay.
So many people I need to share that tip with. It's not even funny. I'm about to start making a list immediately, my top 25.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so real. I love that.
But, think about it. Seriously, if on a basic level, if you are, a lot of people feel like they have to have the biggest and the newest of everything. If you're spending 6 hours of your life to pay for your cable bill a month and you watch 2 hours of it a week, is it worth it?
That's right. That's exactly right. It's so real. I love that exercise.
If you can, justify it, then wonderful, but I couldn't justify that. Let's go on to number 5. Create a chart that compares your income versus your expenses over time. And she says, really don't skip this step. It may seem trivial, but it has great impact on your discipline and how well you stick with the program. And put the chart somewhere visible where you have to look at it daily. So they want you to create a chart that compares your income versus your expenses over time. And this is right up your alley, Kenneth.
It's me all day. I was discussing with one of my business partners last night because we were just kind of going through expenses, what's going on right now for the week, and they threw a radio bill out at me. I'm like, radio bill? I didn't even know we had that radio bill in that market over there. And I'm like, really? I'm like, well, where's the justification on where we're getting this money from and the breakdown? Don't just tell me we got a bill. I didn't even know a bill was coming in. And so that was a perfect example of not having everything written down in the budget. I'm big on having a budget, knowing what we're spending, because you're investing back into the business. But we just need to know. If you don't know where it's going, it goes back to that number one. Where is the money going? And so that is big right up my alley. I'm all about spreadsheets and calculations.
Exactly. So here's number 6, which I think is kind of cool. So y'all may like this. Let's see. Number 6, value your time by minimizing expenses. Cut out spending that doesn't align with your values and personal mission. Learn to take care of your possessions. Learn to do and make things you previously paid others to do. And learn to enjoy it. Wait, did y'all hear that? Learn to take care of yourself. Learn to do and make things you previously paid others to do. And learn to enjoy it. She is always surprised at the number of people that do not learn how to cook. What could be... Right, that's funny, but think about that. How much money do we spend on paying other people to cook for us? What could be more enjoyable and sacred? And, speaking of the Pope, and he was really focused on family. That could be family time. What could be more enjoyable and sacred than creating a fabulous, nutritious feast for yourself and those you care for, i.e. your family? You could... Think about that, Kenneth, going to the grocery store together, making a list or finding a new recipe maybe once a week or whatever it may be. Y'all find a recipe and you take everybody. Think about how much money you would save.
I'm all about combining multiple things at one time, and that's big because I know even like my daughter and my son, and I know a lot of times they're involved in the cooking process. One, to show them how to cook, so they're excited to be part of it. But you're maximizing. I mean, I'll have a couple of things going on. I may have an audio book going on while we're cooking. We're in the kitchen. I got the steam rolling. It's several things. I'm getting multiple things done at one time, kind of combining. And that's one of the biggest things I think a person can do to kind of maximize. Because 24 hours do go quick.
Right.
It really does fly by. We'll look at it right now. The show is at 9:40 this morning, 9:48. Before long, it'll be 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
The kids.
What happened?
We got to combine.
Exactly.
Got to combine those times and maximize on each activity.
And say cooking isn't your thing. Sometimes it's not cooking. I mean, what about, Saturday chores? Instead of, paying somebody to wash your car or cut the grass or garden or whatever it may be. How about the whole family does it?
That's right.
Everybody's outside. Number one, you're outside getting fresh air, getting a little vitamin D, and then you're spending time together. You're teaching your children something. You're working together. You're building a family bond, and you're saving money. Imagine that. Okay, number 7. Valuing your time by maximizing your income. This is interesting. Make the time you spend working count. It should add value to your life in a number of ways. Do something you feel good about and maximize your income while doing it. Do it well. Ask for a raise and change places of employment if necessary. But value your time and maximize your income. You talk about this all the time, Kenneth. So
All the time. I'm big on this. I'm big on time. Always working to get better at it because there's always new levels that you can take it to be able to, because it's all about getting the most out of your time and maximizing. Wealthy people maximize their time. They leverage, they're master leveragers, and that's what it's all about. It frees up your time to be able to have more family time. And a guy that I really have a lot of respect for that does very well, and I learn a lot from, one of the things he does, because he has a very, very busy schedule, but every morning for 1 hour in the morning, he spends time with his kids. He get up early, hang out in the morning for an hour before he starts his day. He spends that first hour of the morning with them.
Oh, wow.
That was so cool. That was a great, because that way he starts every morning with them, giving them undisturbed time before he starts his schedule. He works 16 hours a day. He's worked, a little bit over $500 million, but he goes hard 7 days a week. But he starts his day off giving them that beginning where it's undisturbed, all about them, going to the grocery store, going to pick up some things. I thought that was pretty cool.
And it's really funny. I don't think sometimes we pay attention to how important it is for our children to have our undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. How often do you really give your children your undivided attention? I mean, the TVs, you're not paying attention to the TV. You're not listening to the news. You're not on your phone. You're not waiting for a phone call. You're not really giving them your undivided attention.
That's a great point.
Like, seriously, I had to check myself on a couple times. I was like, I'm not. And then I was actually last night, I was getting ready for the show today, and Aiden, he was doing his homework, and he came and sat next to me, and I was like, you know what? Let me put this down, turn off the Pope, because I was all up in CNN, and give him my undivided attention. And I had to check myself, and I think we have to do that on a regular basis. We have to check ourselves and give our children our undivided attention because they need it. They need it. Okay, this is one I need your help on, Kenneth. Find your crossover point. They said use the chart from steps 5, which is create a chart to compare your income versus your expenses over time, when your savings and investments can start paying you an appreciable return. I was like, huh? So they want you to find your crossover point. Right. I was like, I'm going to throw that at Kenneth. He's a financial advisor. This is not my lane. I stay in my lane. This is Kenneth's lane. Go ahead, Kenneth.
Well, basically, remember that week we talked about the reducing our expenses, and seeing where we can make small cuts in different areas when we do our budget. Then one of the other weeks we talk about maybe getting a part-time job or taking some of that money right there to find a small investment tool, maybe into an MLM company or something that could be a small investment to now appreciate and make money for us. So that's that crossover point right there where you're kind of going from the regular grind to now leveraging your dollars to be able to start making money for you. Without you being there, because what that now does is give you more time with the people that you're doing it for.
See, that's why I need you, because that's not my lane. And last but not least, step number 9, learning to really manage your finances and secure financial independence. And I know this is all up your alley. Step up to the plate and dig in. Learn true money management and financial techniques. Invest to establish a safe, secure income stream. The author recommends CDs and saving bonds. She was saying personally they prefer dividend stocks from established companies that have proven track records of increasing dividend payments over many years. And all of that is a lot of blah, blah, blah to me, which is why I have Kenneth here, because he's a financial advisor. He's done it. He doesn't just walk the walk. Doesn't just talk the talk, y'all. He walks the walk. He's done this. He's proven, and he's done it for a lot of people. So open your mind to living differently in the world and let him do it for you. Kenneth, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and, get some information about how they can go through these processes, how can they do that with you?
They can reach me at 504-577-4139, 504-577-4139, or they can visit us online at kennethbarnes.org.
And then going back to that step 9, really kind of digging in for it, it's learning to really manage your finances and secure financial independence. How important is that, Kenneth?
It's so important, and you want to get with the right advisor, because an advisor, his job, it's my job to always know what's going on in the economy, but also see where the best money's being made for your clients. And right now we have investment tools that we're working with that's maximizing people's money like crazy. Like I said, it's over 13% people are getting on their money with us, and that's why we do what we do. The other thing, like Eileen mentioned, we live this every day. This is not something we heard about, we read about. No, we have portfolios that we actually live every day. The things we talk about is what we live, and that's where we make our revenue.
Absolutely. So, y'all, we really want to weed out the life-draining things that don't matter and have no added value to your personal happiness and satisfaction. And we want to leave only the most precious and meaningful things. You know, money is a tool. We want to use it and we want to grow it so that we can live comfortably, but we do not want it to drive our lives. You know, we want to be able to spend time and focus on our families. You know, the Pope was just here. He was giving us that message. Let's not lose sight of what's really important. Let's understand money. Let's work with it. It's a tool, just like a screwdriver. You know, you use it so it works properly. Let's use money so it works properly. That's what Kenneth Barnes is here to help us do, and so that we can all live the good life. Let's open our minds to living differently in the world. This is The Good Life. This is Money Monday. Thank you, Kenneth, so much for all that you would do. I appreciate it. And, you know, we're trying to build financial freedom and generational wealth. So make sure that you tune in here every Money Monday with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for Relationship Tuesday. This is Eileen, and I'm out.